Need for Speed is now over 30 years old. That is 3 decades of some of the most memorable racing games ever created. And in those 30 years, there have been some of the most iconic missions in the history of the franchise. In today's video, I'm going to talk about some of them. As this video goes on, if you agree or disagree with any of these takes, please let me know down below, as I love discussing stuff like this with all of you. With that out of the way, let's begin. Spoiler alert, these discussions involve revealing vital pieces of several story modes of various Need for Speed titles. If you have not played every game in the series, I suggest proceeding with caution. Honorable mention, on the Dream Team, Need for Speed 2015. Need for Speed 2015 was a fan service game after years of subpar entries in the series going in all different directions to figure out what resonated well with the audience. 2015 included lots of callbacks to previous entries such as Eddie's Challenge, for example, and the one thing 2015 is known for is its inclusion of icons like Magnus Walker, Nakai-san, Morohoshi-san, and the late great Ken Block. The final race involves you and your crew racing all of them. It's a fun little event and a decent way to finish off a story mode that left a lot to be desired, all things considered. At the end of the race, you all party and take a group photo together. Now that that's out of the way, we get to number 10, Fighting the Law, Need for Speed Heat. Starting this list with a bang, Fighting the Law is the final mission in 2019's Need for Speed Heat. It starts out with you, Anna, and Lucas all racing with the members of the league. You start by luring out the cops by circling the police station, and then you haul ass towards the port and lead them to where the stolen cars are being stored. As things look to finally be falling apart for the department's high-speed task force, Mercer takes off in what else but the most wanted M3. You chase him down, take him out, and Torres confronts him where it's believed he was killed. A great bookend to what is widely considered the best Need for Speed of modern times. Number 9, Super Promotion Showdown vs. Ryo Watanabe, Need for Speed Pro Street. Up next is an absolute gauntlet, the final event of Need for Speed Pro Street. After working your way up and proving yourself as one of the best drivers, Ryo Watanabe steps up and challenges you to a series of races to prove who's the better driver. He even puts up the pink slip to his Evo 10. This event is a challenge in all disciplines: drag, drift, grip, and speed. 10 events across Nevada and Tokyo stand between you and $300,000, a brand new Evo 10, and the title of both Showdown and Street King. Number 8, The Grand Tour, Need for Speed Rivals. The Grand Tour isn't just the name of one of the best TV series ever created, it's also the final race of one of my favorite Need for Speed titles of all time, that being Rivals. It adopts one of the more polarizing tropes of racing games from this time, and that is a world sprint event. World sprints are exactly what they sound like, a race around the entirety of the map. The Grand Tour takes you around the entirety of Redview County with some of the hardest cops on your tail for pretty much the entire length of the event, which is around 8 to 10 minutes long. This is also the final mission in the game, as crossing the line is a segue right into the final cutscene before the credits roll. A true banger of a race, and one that I enjoy making infinitely more difficult for myself by starting it at heat level 10. Number 7, The Outlaws Rush, Need for Speed Payback. Ah, Payback, a victim of the infamous don't judge a book by its cover syndrome. I've been very vocal about my opinions on Payback in the past, but all of those were before I even played this game, and now that I have, it took a lot of steps forward from Need for Speed 2015 and includes one of the most fun missions in the history of the series. Once you take down all of the crews across Fortune Valley, you have the opportunity to take part in the Outlaws Rush, which the house is attempting to rig for their own benefit. As Tyler Morgan, you blaze through the Outlaws Rush and its multiple stages. At the end, Lena Navarro doesn't take too kindly to this, and she inserts herself into the final event, replacing last year's winner who should have faced Tyler. Tyler defeats Navarro, wins the Outlaws Rush, and the house's grasp over the city has finally been broken. Navarro is essentially cashed out in the final cutscene, and your crew are victorious. Number 6, Final Race vs. Caleb Reese, Need for Speed Underground 2. Underground 2 is one of my favorite video games ever created. Not just racing games, but video games as a whole. Caleb is the main villain of Need for Speed Underground 2, and he was revealed in this game's prologue as the one who took you out at the end of the first game. As you win races and take control of Bayview, Caleb grows increasingly frustrated at your success. Desperate to stop you, he organizes a tournament pitting his crew members against each other, which doesn't work. Having lost yet another sponsor, Caleb challenges you to a race to end your Cinderella story, and after you win the 5-lap race against him, Caleb is left broke and defeated as you celebrate your victory. Number 5, Final Races vs. Eddie and Melissa, Need for Speed Underground. So I'm bundling 2 events together for this one, as it's fairly common knowledge among the community that Eddie is not the true final race, despite what those 10-plus-year-old Let's Play videos of the race against him will tell you. So we'll treat these 2 races as one big race, and that being said, as you race throughout Olympic City and progress in the story, your reputation climbs to a level that Eddie, the leader of the East Siders gang and best racer in the city, can't ignore, and so he challenges you to a race. A pretty difficult challenge requiring quick reaction time given how thin some of the roads are on this map, but once you beat him, a mysterious racer in a Nissan 350Z shows up to race you. Once you beat them, the driver is revealed to be Melissa, who is Eddie's girlfriend. You are deemed the best racer in Olympic City as the credits roll. Number 4, Marcus Blackwell and the Chicago Escape, Need for Speed The Run. Need for Speed The Run might very well be one of the most underrated titles of all time. I get it's not Black Box's best work, but when you compare it to some of the games that came after after, I think this one holds its own very well. And this mission is a big reason why. As you travel through the Chicago Metro racing Marcus, you end up crashing and totaling your car. The police chase you down as you parkour across buildings like those people you see on Instagram Reels all the time, all while a chopper is firing at you relentlessly, by the way. The cops eventually search a back alley where you jump out from behind a dumpster, beat down an officer, and take a cruiser to escape. All of Chicago turns into an absolute war zone as cars explode, the chopper continues firing, and you cut across a train yard, narrowly avoiding being killed by an oncoming freighter after you roll your car. Need for Speed The Run was basically an EA-sponsored Michael Bay movie. It was fantastic. Number 3, Independence Pass, Need for Speed The Run. Alright, now we get to the top 3, and this was unbelievably difficult to decide, but I'm starting it with Independence Pass. This is the one mission in the run that literally everybody talks about. As you brave the cold standing in front of your car, a competitor rolls by at 150 plus, and you immediately drive after him. As you descend down the mountain, you pass a sign that says blasting in progress, and it takes about 3 seconds before that's immediately obvious as dynamite is set off and rocks start falling down the mountain. You bob and weave your way around the rocks and chunks of snow falling from the sky as you make your way down the mountain. It's a battle of not only driving skill, but full-on survival. Once you reach the bottom, you floor it for the tunnel as a wall of rocks and snow are coming down over your only exit. You barely make it out in time. Just goes to show that missions don't have to be overly long to be good. It's the substance and overall content that really matters. Number 2, Final Race vs. Darius, Need for Speed Carbon. You guys know I had to show my favorite Need for Speed games some love here. I can't tell you how many times I've beaten this game, and this last mission is a big reason why. Darius initially started out as a friend of yours, but later turned to be an enemy as you took over the territories to pay him back after he once again bailed you out from Cross. Eventually you figure out that he had switched the bags in the prologue, and he lures you to him so Cross can take you out and Darius can reap the rewards. But Nikki is there to save you and works with you to take over Darius's territory and eventually challenge him. You have to race his crew in the canyon and city before you can race him in the city and canyons, but man, that Audi is something else. Ridiculous speed, especially in the canyon event, but if you can manage to beat him, you've well earned your bragging rights. Darius leaves the city and his car to you, and Nikki is seemingly once again the player's love as the credits roll. Number 1, Blacklist number 1, Need for Speed Most Wanted. You guys knew it, or maybe you didn't. Regardless, it's the final Blacklist and pursuit that bookends what many consider the best Need for Speed of all time, that being Most Wanted. Razor stole your M3 at the start of the game and put some serious parts in it to make it unbelievably quick for the final race. After a 5-race gauntlet, Mia reveals herself to be working with the Rockport PD. She takes out Razor and gives you the keys to the M3 to escape. Cross sends every single unit after you, and you spend the next 5 minutes running for your life from the hardest cops in the history of the series. Once those 5 minutes are up, Mia calls you and tells you that the old bridge by the stadium has been reopened. You race over there, jump over the bridge, and leave Rockport as the cops are stuck behind. The credits roll as Cross issues a nationwide warrant for your arrest. And that's my list. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and maybe even found a bit of nostalgia in me revisiting some of these missions. As I said in the beginning, drop your thoughts and personal lists down below, and I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in whatever video I upload next. Take care.